You family, and welcome to the Dr. Mumbi Spiritual Show. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. Actually, this is a special message from the ancient ones. Let me correct myself. You is basically the way we greet ourselves. It's also the way we greet our ancestors, the way we greet the Most High. Mwene nyaga, mwene hinya, and so much I can say, but I've just decided with this new dispensation, let me go back to my roots. And actually, I've been inspired, family, because I've been watching a lot of South African podcasters and everything, and I love the way, especially the Zulu ones, they'll inject their language into it. Even Kenya, there's some who will speak Kiswahili and English and everything, but I've just been getting that feeling, and it's so beautiful when we add the vibration of our voice. Stories for other days. Special shout out, of course, to our Patreon family. You sponsor the show. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you. We'd be doing other things. We'd be happily just living it out in paradise. But, we're so grateful that you support us on that platform. We've shared incredible books on that platform. We've also shared content that we've not released here and may not release here. So definitely consider joining for as little as $2 a month. And thanks to every single person that supports us on PayPal. And family, it's not even just about me. Please support the voices that are giving you the new knowledge, the knowledge of our times, the knowledge of our eras, because it's not just about you, it's about everybody who can partake in this information and have it shift their lives, have it change their lives, because it's all about getting our minds right, getting our minds, sometimes we need to tweak it a little bit this way, tweak it a little bit that way, so we can find the perfect spot. And the main message that I've been getting with the Ancient Ones, and this is something I've been working on for the last month or two, is control your emotions, family. Control your emotions, and you will have control over your life. We honor the spirit of the ancestors always who travel in the wind with us. Control your emotions, because the way that many people are being just diverted, distracted, is because you get emotional about things that you don't need to get emotional about. You're just out there acting crazy, speaking crazy, because you don't have a hold of your emotions. So it's so easy to tackle you. It's so easy to hard tackle you, family. Because your emotions is what Babylon has used to entrap you, to traumatize you, to have this exaggerated fear. Fear is an illusion. And sadly, it's an illusion that we draw to ourselves, because most of the time, you will attract what you fear the most. Be it poverty, be it whatever it may be, family. Whatever you fear the most is what you're drawing to you. You're drawing that vibration to you. And now people are going to need to be rational. We're in the age of the mind. I mean, that's been argued as well. But we're in the Aquarian age. Let's just go with that, because that's what the group consciousness is accepting. So that's what's kind of around us now. Although it's a major cosmic clock that's ending. Not just 5,000 years, not just 26,000 years, but some say it's 2.6 million years. I mean, it's a major end of an era, family, and beginning of another. And many of us are already in the other. And we're trying to just create the bridge to this stories for other days. But the way Babylon is getting you is they're targeting your emotions, which have not been balanced out. Many of us overstand in a stand and understand certain things by now. We get it. But our emotions hold us prisoner. And I see this among our Christian brothers and sisters who email me every day talking about how the guilt that they feel when they start to go into their African heritage and their African spirituality and look into their ancestors, or even try and connect with their ancestors, and how at first they'll be excited, then they'll feel bad, and all these things. It's because, family, you guys were literally, a spell was put on you. You were spellbound. And then you've been brainwashed and hypnotized ever since. So it's not going to go away. But it was all in the emotion. They entrapped your heart by making you feel like if you question this, you'll die, you'll do this, you'll lose your family members. Like, it's such a they've entrapped your emotion. That's all I can say. And to kind of get out of that, you're going to have to use your mind to just logically think through things, because your emotions, your heart will always put you in fear, will always be timid, will always just want to stand back, hold back. When this is the new era, this is the era when you need to be pushing forward. And our emotions get us talking crazy to one another, family. Hard tackling one another. Even I've decided, as much as I love to hard tackle the Christians with my Jesus is the Antichrist. I mean, that gets some people so it creates a cognitive dissonance. I'm not going to do that anymore. Because it's not necessary. We're in a new dispensation. And I'm not there anymore. You know what I mean? I'm not rustling in the mud anymore with them. But our emotions is what we need to now level out. Because that's what also Babylon is feeding on. Energy in motion. It's pure, it's the purest level of energy that is just waiting to be directed. And so they can always have you imagined how much energy they harvested from releasing Black Panther, where multiple generations, it raised them up. They felt proud, they felt joy, Black Superman, blah, 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 blah. And then that superhero dies of cancer. How there was this collective drop. That was like a feast day for the enemies of our soul, family. And sometimes it's not even like the powers that be, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them, collectively feasting on us. Sometimes it's those who are out of balance that feed on us. Because our balance either forces them to move or to get in balance as well. And many of them are not ready to get in balance. And the way many trip us up is they'll release a trigger. They'll release a negative story. For me, the final thing that they tried to break me with was the truth of what happened to me, family. That was the final thing that they tried to break me with. After sacrificing me to an Indian goddess who happened to be after doing all kinds of rituals on me, blanking my memory. Family, this thing is so deep that I'm not even in the birth register. I was trying to renew my passport. I'll just get into this really quickly. I was trying to renew my passport, a couple of months ago, because I felt now their game has wrapped up. I should probably get a passport, might be traveling soon, and I'm so close to the Tanzanian border. So, I didn't have my birth certificate and everything, so I literally had to go and get my birth notice from the hospital. And I discussed it once or twice, family. And I swear I felt like, this is going to sound so crazy to some, but I felt like my phone was tapped. So I go to Nairobi. I hadn't been to Nairobi in 2 years. And I go to the hospital, end up at the registrar office. And, you write down your mother's name and all this stuff. And she was there for a while. I think I even left and came back. And then when she found my paper, I had no name. I don't even think it indicated boy or girl. There was no doctors. They had my mother's name misspelled. My so-called mother, I guess. No father's name. And it was just it felt like a fake document. I looked at it what is that? I didn't even have a name at birth. Was I even born? Was I born alone? Was I born a twin? Is this my mother? That's the level I reached, family. And that took me, that was at the beginning of this year. Imagine going and there's no birth record of you. There's nothing. There's not even a time. Because I was okay, so where's the other information? Who was the nurse? Who was the doctor in charge? What exact time was I born? And she was sorry, we destroy all documents after 10 years. So I started to feel, because this is a very Masonic hospital here in Kenya, I started to feel like something just didn't sit right with that. And I started to get so emotional. And it really put me in my feelings. And I feel like that's actually the reason why I was brought to this island, is I kind of needed to deal with all of this. And also heal myself and all these things. But at the bottom of everything, family, when I went on a shamanistic journey, that's all I'll say about that. What I found, and this was something I needed help with, I needed another shaman to come and work, two other shamans actually, to come and work with me. What was at the center of my blockage, whatever you want to call it, what was at the center of that brokenness was rage. Rage that what happened to me because in another world I am a goddess. I am a goddess of war. I am a spiritual warrior. And so it was just like, it was an anger towards, the Most High. It was an anger towards my ancestors. Like, how could you let this happen? And that rage was so intense, family. It was so intense. I'm glad I was in, I don't know if I'll call it a trance or hypnosis, because I was very much here, but I was very much not here. Maybe I'll share that in a story time. And some people aren't going to get this, and it's not for you if you're not going to get it, seriously. That rage had to come through me and out of me and be released. And it was and no matter how much I healed, no matter how much I meditated, no matter how much I cleared my energy, there was just certain things I could never escape. The anger towards my family, the bitterness of there was always a tone. I mean, you guys have seen it where I break down and literally cry and feel sorry for myself. Like, it was that intense. But beyond that, at the root of that, the cause of that was rage. A rage that would have destroyed my world, other people's worlds, the world, that would have been so destructive. As a messenger of the Most High, to proceed with that kind of rage would have produced something that would have been outrageous, like, seriously. It would have, I wouldn't have been allowed, basically. That's how I feel. Like, even I had probably told my spiritual team, if I can't overcome this, keep me back. And feeling that rage, kind of, and allowing it to pass through me was so intense, family. But it's like I cried for the last time. I screamed for the last time. I said, woe is me, and they did this to me, and they did that to me for the last time. And then that story was totally released, that book of life. That's what actually helped me to close my book of life, family. I am a totally new person. I'm even getting to know myself. Totally new, because that rage has followed me since I was offered as a sacrifice at the age of 2. Since maybe I was taken from wherever I was taken from, that rage of all the things that happened to me through these secret societies has followed me till this day. And that was at the root. It wasn't abuse. It wasn't the abuse. It wasn't the pain. It wasn't the suffering. It wasn't my family. None of that. It wasn't. What was at the center of my problem was my own emotion. And releasing that emotion has created like a reset in my life. I don't even know how to explain this, family. It's created a reset. And it's like, I mean, after the shamanistic experience, I thought I'd wake up the following day and still feel that anger, and they've done this, and they've sent these people to try take me out. It was gone, family. Now it's just a story. There's still some bits of the story that are revealed to me every so once in the often. An ancestor will be like, when this and this happened, this was what's really going on, and that will shock me. I may shed a tear, and I release that emotion, but that is no longer the main story or the outline of my narrative. I'm free from it. And now I'm in such a profound peace, family. And that's why I'm sharing this with you. And I think that's why the ancient ones wanted me to share this with you. That you, like going through, processing your emotions, whether you need therapy, whether you need psychedelics, whether you need a shaman, whether you need a best friend to cry on their shoulder, go through those emotions. Get to the heart of the emotion and then release it. And that is what will set you free. I don't even know if you can still see me because the sun is kind of setting where I am. But level out your emotions, family. Everything that happened was a lesson. Any L, as they love to say now, any L was a lesson. And once you get the lesson, you receive the blessing. But those are stories for other days. Tuko pamoja.